Alright. Welcome back, my dudes. It's your boy, Jigby. I'm gonna do a recap that I meant to have at the forefront of this series, so you guys can see the circumstances around this. What we have is going to be the end of the season, give you guys kind of a roundup of that, and then we'll look at the actual conferences. But one thing you will see is going to be the fact that, there's the shootout. West Virginia has become the national champions. If I sound funny, I did actually shatter my nose at softball this week, so I'm gonna sound funny for the next few videos, but c'est la vie. We'll look at the end of the end of the year top 25. As you can see, West Virginia managed to pull off a perfect season. Arkansas was right behind them and faced off in the Natty, where they did lose. You can actually see they were dominant throughout the season. Lost 45-49. It was a great game. Boise just literally managed a last-minute touchdown that put them ahead. It was obviously 45-42 at that point. Arkansas was coming out. Boise almost made it to the Natty themselves. As you can see, there are quite a few teams that you might not expect in the top 25. SMU making it all the way up to number 6, while in the CUSA. Baylor won the Big 12, as you can see. And RG3 was just a beast. He did win the Heisman. You could see John Baptiste was their defensive tackle leader and sack leader. Did great. I did play every game in the 2011 as San Jose State, ended up as number 17. I will not be playing the rest. I did lose to both Fresno State and BYU in the year, and it was brutal, but so it goes. No other wild folks in the top 25. As you can see, Hawaii, UCLA, and Tulsa all got dropped out in the bowls, which is pretty solid. We can actually look at the Heisman as well. As you can see, Robert Griffin III came out on top. He did leave after this. Had a really solid season. We'll see him in there. Brandon Allen, a freshman overall, 91. Everything was downloaded and all that. So, very interesting stuff coming out on the game. In that first year, a lot of these guys are going to come out as folks in the actual draft, which I think is very interesting. You'll see a whole lot of them coming out, and you'll also see a lot of the players as they develop, and we are dealing with that. So, as you can see, there are a lot of bowl games that came through. If you have a team that you really like, look at that, FIU 9-4 on the year. They're still their Sun Belt. If you know the alignment for the 2011 season, you still have the WAC, you still have all those things. Mountain West, all of it is as you would expect. We changed it after this season because I like the realignment, and I like to keep it regional rather than the super conferences that we now have in 2023. So there are quite a few things that you will get to encounter that are going to be a little bit different in this fun little alternate reality. I did not sign a top 100 recruiting class, but you can see that contract feedback. In one regular season, I'm fine. I met all of the other goals, so suck it, jabronis. I'll show you guys what that recruiting looks like at the end of season 1. You guys can see there are quite a few folks that were on mine. You'll see them in the core of the season. I think you'll also see some of these guys actually playing, because, we're meh. But this is also going to be a regular thing. You'll see a bunch of names that are really familiar because I do inject some created players who are like core players from reality, like Jameis Winston, Desmond Stegall, stuff like that. I forgot everyone that I made. I think I only made 2 in the first one, but Jonathan Gray, TJ Yeldon, might be it. Siona Huma, Jalen Cobb, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper. Like, there are folks that are going to come out and be pretty interesting in terms of how they play out. So, that's really just the end of that one, and then we will actually go look at where we are in 2012. So, you guys will see that in just a minute. Alright, we are back. So, we are going to just look at where we are the 2012 season, and we will play with a couple of things. Go from there, you know. So, as you can see, there was a cool game. 21 Miami went to Boston College and had a quadruple overtime game. You can see it here. I really should have been recording it. I was just letting it run in the background, and it wasn't until about, you know, quarter 3 that I thought, this would actually be really good on the channel. Well, balls. So, it was really interesting, and I will be doing the same thing in NCAA that I'm doing in Madden. We will be recording and commentary over a few videos just to see, you know, some of the interesting things that happen. You guys can see the current number 1, Notre Dame, Oregon, both got dropped out. You have all these coming in. We had votes at the beginning of the season, but that was week 1 coming in. They were saying, you know, we could be in the top 25, but we lost to Stanford. So, yeah, we are no longer getting votes. West Virginia, as the defending champions, have actually fallen off. They do have, who is it? Burchett as their quarterback now. So, like, Nealon as their top receiver. You guys might recognize some of the names. It was the Mustang roster from Operation Sports is what I got for this one. So, a couple of things were tweaked, but I'm not sure of all of them. Kentucky, you'll also notice, like, some of these conferences are changed around. West Virginia is now in the ACC, as is Kentucky. And we'll go look at the conferences as a whole. We'll also go look at the Heisman. My sophomore redshirt running back Ben Thompson is in there. He's maintained. I don't think he'll actually stay, especially because we won't be playing. He got in there because he had a really stellar season 1, as you can see, almost 1,300 yards. I tend to run a whole lot because I'm bad at throwing. Brandon Allen, sophomore for Arkansas, lead the way. Michael Dyer, junior, rocking as running back. Trent Richardson actually did go into the 2011 season. He was injured last year, and they sat him, so I think he decided to stay, which is really going to help his draft stock in this year, especially if he competes for the Heisman. Let's go ahead and look at conferences. You'll see a lot of the things that have changed, primarily the Pac-12 South, which San Jose State has got into. Stanford stayed, UCLA stayed, USC stayed. San Diego State, Fresno State, and San Jose State have come in to the Pac-12. There's also the Pac-12 North, which has Oregon State, Washington State, Boise State, Oregon, Cal, and Washington. Pac-12 is one of the least changed. Moving on to the SEC will only have like Mississippi and Tennessee in it, so they are a rump conference. As you can see, Southern Miss is leading the way. Mississippi State is right behind them. They do have an interesting thing as well. They have Dylan Favre, and I really like to say his name, just like all the other Favres, even though there are alleged issues. Not going to go into detail there, but they are what they are. So, they had Dak Prescott. He is actually, oh no, I don't think it's over. He is actually transferred over to Auburn, but Auburn recruited Jameis Winston last year, so it's quite the quarterback room. Memphis, Vandy, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Big Ten. You also have the Sun Belt, which has kind of just become the Southeast Conference, Wake Forest being the only one who's really out of place. The Dixie has Wake Forest, Bama, UAB, Georgia, Auburn, Georgia Tech, and Troy. Gulf, it's just Florida, so every Florida team now lives in the Sun Belt. They're going to be very interesting. Blake Bortles is still with UCF, as you can see. Not very good. The WAC is another rump. They have Arizona State, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico State, and Wyoming. You also have the ACC, also pretty unchanged, but Atlantic is NC State, Marshall, West Virginia, ECU, Duke, and North Carolina. Marshall is pretty fun to watch. You'll have to see one of their games. We got Kentucky in the Coastal, South Carolina, Clemson, Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Louisville. Louisville still has Bridgewater, so we'll also be watching one of theirs. The only game they've played is against Kentucky, and it was very good. There you go, 34-30. And they upset West Virginia in Week 1. Week 1, West Virginia was numero uno. Big 12, it's primarily Texas, and because not all the Texas teams are here, I do have the NCAA 14 set up, which is just based with some conference, no, not conference, the other thing. Team Builder. There are some Team Builder teams on my NCAA 14 Dynasty. We'll get to that if you guys want, but it'll be a bit. I like to focus on this first. Big 12 has Baylor, UTEP, Texas A&M, Rice, and Houston, who just lost Case Keenum, so we'll see how they do. It also has TCU, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, SMU, North Texas, and Texas Tech. The Big East now has divisions. You have Penn State, Pittsburgh, Rutgers, UConn, Maryland, and Cincinnati. In one division, and Boston College, Temple, Syracuse, Army, Buffalo, and Navy. Big Ten, not super changed, but I did move some things around. You have Indiana, Notre Dame, Akron, Illinois, Purdue, and Ball State. You also have Iowa, Minnesota, Iowa State, Northwestern, NIU, and Wisconsin. Conference USA has taken some of the SEC teams. The conferences, like the divisions, are currently misnamed. That was a mistake on my part. The North is the South is the North. You got Arkansas State, UL Monroe, LSU, the Tulane, Louisiana Tech, and Lafayette. Those Raging Cajuns. The actual North has Arkansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Tulsa, Kansas State, and Kansas. Is it Tulsa or Nebraska? One of these guys has an interesting player on him. Rex Burkhead and Breon Carnes are doing pretty good for Nebraska. Tulsa has Dexter McCoyle, their strong safety. I got him in my practice run of this entire setup of NCAA Dynasty exporting draft classes to the NFL. Dexter McCoyle, I have a soft spot for because I got him as a 7th round pick when I had way too many picks from trades because I was offloading so much of my cap, and he turned out to be a gem. Really just rocked everything. I don't know any players on Missouri in the 2012 season. The only independent is going to be Hawaii. They are a very interesting team. The MAC is going to have Western Kentucky, Ohio, Ohio State, Miami of Ohio, Bowling Green, and Kent State. You'll also have Michigan, Toledo, Michigan State, and Central, Western, and Eastern Michigan. So It'll be interesting to see how they develop. And then we have the Mountain West, which is just Colorado, Utah, Air Force, UNLV, BYU, Utah State, and Colorado. I believe the only game they have played is against Colorado State, so they already lost that Rocky Mountain Showdown. They don't have Grayson anymore, so I don't know who the heck they have. But, yeah, that's what the conferences are set up as. If you guys have any particular teams you want to watch, let me know. I will be picking a few games here and there, and if I didn't already state it in the other video, 4 games a year is what I'll be playing. My goal is to turn San Jose State into a 6-star school and win at least 2 national championships. Once we do that, we will be moving on to another school, and we will actually pick from the bottom 25 once we do that. I can only play those 4 games. The 4 games I play, I'll go to the team schedule, but they're going to be all the rivalry games. We'll be playing Stanford, we'll be playing USC, because I'm calling that the Iliad. So, Trojans versus Spartans, you know. And then we will be playing Fresno State. That's 3, so I don't actually remember who the 4th is. San Diego State. It's San Diego State, so we'll be watching BYU in New Mexico for San Jose. Just like Madden, to ensure that we have the correct playbook, I'll take the first kickoff play and then get off of it, and we'll watch these guys duke it out. So, yep, let me know. You guys will see a CPU v CPU here shortly. I'm just going to pick one. But otherwise, my dudes, rock on, and I hope y'all have a great time watching these vids with me. Catch you on the flip side.